What's up?
That was a sick dinosaur yeehaw. What that was. Welcome into the Bobby Drew Show. I'm Bobby Drew. We got David over here. We got over here. Dave, what does your thing say? You're the what?
The Mole Guys.
No, the other thing.
Oh, the ESPN Tournament Challenge champion.
Who won that tournament? What school?
UConn, UConn.
Yeah.
I can guarantee you we're the only sports show in the middle of May that is still talking about March Madness.
That's right. You can't let it die, baby.
That's what we do around here. But before we obviously are, we're your trusted source for sports news and sports talk, debates, sports knowledge, and soon we will be the go-to place for fantasy football knowledge and advice. Because I'm the fantasy football champ. I think we were all three of us were in the playoffs. So
yeah, some longer than others, but
what is happening?
What? Dude, yeah, like you
Seriously, what are you doing?
Okay,
this happens
bud.
every week.
Okay, bud.
Let's see. What I didn't. Dude, I don't know. It's the same thumbs up. Let's see if it does a thumbs up. I don't know why it does stuff like that.
You need to stop pushing buttons. That's what you do.
I didn't press anything. Anyways,
oh man.
Not only are we, your trusted source for sports and stuff like that, but we're also Bible believers, Bible preachers, and we love the Lord. So we have a scripture. Oh, I don't have a slide for it. I have to make a slide. The scripture is Matthew chapter 7, verse 8. It says, For everyone that asketh receiveth, and he that seeketh findeth, and to him that knocketh it shall be opened.
Amen.
You guys like my hair?
I love it.
Thanks.
Anyways,
that scripture means a lot to us spiritually, and we can apply it to other things in our life. We always want to apply the Bible to all areas of our life. Mm-hmm. So how are you going to receive something if you're not even seeking for it? How are you going to find it if you're not looking for it? How's that door going to open? Have any of you went to your friend's house and just stood outside the front door and just waited for it to open instead of knocking? Probably not. If you wanted to get inside their house, you're going to knock. So that's what the scripture's talking about. You got to ask the Lord for things. You got to seek for the things of the Lord. And we see this in football. Stephon Diggs is known for it. He was complaining about the ball. A.J. Brown had a moment last season where he was complaining for the ball. And you know what happened? They got the ball. Well, I don't know about Stephon Diggs, but A.J. Brown got the ball. Stephon Diggs complained about the ball, and they traded him out of there. They said, all right, go get the ball somewhere else. Because Josh Allen only throws it to the opposite team. It's time for some Buffalo Bills hate in here. That's what we need.
Yeah.
Is anybody here a fan of the Buffalo Bills?
The only team in New York.
Yeah. Not me.
You know what? I've never really thought about that. Yeah. But of all the New York teams, they're the only actual team located in New York.
Yep.
Yeah, because where's the Giants at?
They play in New Jersey.
Yeah.
Yeah, they MetLife Stadium, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. They don't even have their own stadium.
Nope. That's how sad they are.
Oh, man.
New Yorkers.
But, we do appreciate the Giants. Otherwise, Tom Brady would have a lot more Super Bowls. So we may not be Giants fans, but we do appreciate the Giants that we for what they've done for the rest of the NFL.
and we Patriot fans like the Falcons. That helped us get one. And we like the Seahawks because it kind of evens out, and that helped us get one. So,
man, are the Falcons ever going to get back to the Super Bowl to try to redeem themselves?
No. Oh, did you guys hear the Atlanta Hawks actually won the number 1 NBA draft, and they're going to take a quarterback?
What?
Wait, what?
What?
Oh, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it now. I was like, wait a second, that's a basketball team.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
They must have the same general manager.
Yep.
Well, speaking of football, we'll just touch on it for a second here because my Houston Roughnecks still continue to be very, very sad. I had got an update as the game was going on, and I seen the score. It was 12-6. Roughnecks were winning, and I thought the game was over. I was like, oh, finally, we get another win. Nope. The game ended. The San Antonio Brahmas,
The Brahmas, yep.
they win 15-12.
Yep.
Super sad. Dave, you're the Battlehawks, right?
Yeah, they lost.
Yeah, we lost, man. What's up with that?
The Stallions 30-26.
Well, AJ McCarron, the quarterback for your team, he got hurt. He busted up his ankle pretty good. So, you know.
Busted
And
up.
that was AJ McCarron used to play for Alabama. That's actually the first time he's been back to the state of Alabama since he left college.
He was in the NFL for a little bit, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was in
yeah.
a couple of years. He was a backup. Yeah.
Hey, I hope this league does what they want it to. I mean, I think it's pretty cool. I think the NFL should have a feeder league, you know?
I agree.
Yeah.
Because you see these guys that are doing this, and there's some really good players out there. And if you don't make it into the NFL, if you're not on a practice squad, I mean, what are you doing? Like, then what? You know, you go play overseas, and like I see one guy. He's in. There's one guy on Instagram. I can't think of his name. He's a quarterback in Japan. They have Japan has a football league, like an NFL league, and he's over there playing quarterback, and he is dominating.
What do they play? Pee Wee football?
He's
What are they,
a
like,
giant,
5'2"?
probably.
They play Pee Wee football?
He is a big dude. He's
Like
like
a bunch of 9-year-olds?
He's like 6'2", 6'3", and he's throwing missiles out there. But it's not even fair. Like the competition level isn't even close. It's like take a D1 quarterback and put him on like a D3 team.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like out there.
Yeah.
It is but it's fun to watch though.
Bro.
Darts.
Bro, the average height of a Japanese man is 5'7". Okay, this guy is over there. It's like David and Goliath.
Yeah,
I
he's
don't
just
even
looking
know.
over him. He's just like,
He's like high school playing against the Pee Wee League.
yeah, I'm serious. Oh my gosh, that's funny. I didn't even know Japan had
Well,
a pro league.
I didn't know either, but way back in the day, before Kurt Warner got his start in the NFL at like 28 years old, he was playing in Germany.
Yeah.
Or something for some German league. So
Yep.
Oh, that's not what I do.
there's other stuff out there.
Maybe
Maybe we could try out for this.
that's what I was thinking.
I can't live in Japan. I don't like Japanese food.
Oh, you can get burgers there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you think they're burgers.
But I did see rumors that the Arena Football League is supposed to start back up.
Really?
Yeah, they were supposed to start it this season or this year.
Really fun.
Wow.
If that starts,
Tampa Bay Storm, watch out.
I'm probably gonna go to tryouts just to test it out.
Really?
If the hefty lefty can make it and do it, RIP. But if the hefty lefty can do it, then so can I. Do you guys know who that is?
The quarterback from Kentucky?
Yeah.
I forget his name, but I know who you're talking about.
I can't think of his name. I have to look it up.
Yeah.
But Dave, why don't you're good at Google? Type in the hefty lefty.
From University of Kentucky.
He was like, what was he like 320
Well, it pops
pounds?
right up.
Yeah, he was enormous.
Jared Lorenzo.
Yep.
Or Lorenzen.
Lorenzen.
Let's see. Get some stats on this guy.
Height and weight, please.
Height and weight.
5'3", 400 pounds.
Oh man, he died in 2019.
Yeah, that's what we said. RIP.
Covington, he was 6'4", 285.
6'4", 285. That's a big boy.
Yeah.
Wow. Yep.
Hey, just this is definitely not a sponsor. Definitely not a sponsor. Me and Dave were talking about it. Have you guys ever tried these? The poppy sodas.
No.
It's like some prebiotic soda, so it's like it doesn't like like sometimes when you drink soda, your stomach like gurgles or whatever. It's supposed to like help with that.
Yeah, there's still nothing better than this, though.
Yeah, Dr. Pepper's really good.
This is the original.
I literally was in the store, and I don't know why. Maybe you guys can relate to this. I was like, I want a soda with a cool brown can. So I walked in and I saw this, And I was like,
Nice.
all right, I'm going to get that.
That's what you were looking for. I just want a cool brown can.
Yeah, that's all. That's all.
So the label there looks like a xylophone. You guys know what a xylophone is?
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Right. See?
And if you look at it really quick, it almost looks like it says poopy on.
How did I know you were going to do that?
In that cool brown can.
I also have here my friend here, Dave, dropped by and gave me an Arizona sweet tea the other day.
That was nice,
And
bro.
so I got that. I had that as backup just in case that wasn't good. That's a root beer flavor. I can taste the root beer, but the carbonation isn't as strong as regular. So it's all right.
Tastes watered down then, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like having a root beer with ice in it and the ice melted.
Oh.
Yeah.
No.
Anyways, who cares about that
Let's
stuff?
move on.
They're not sponsors anyways.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Anyways, let's see. We got a lot of stuff going on. MLB is going on. Who cares? We're not even going to mention that. Actually, well, I mean, we did mention it, but anyways, nothing to talk about. The Rays are still the best baseball team in the MLB.
What?
No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. But we are, we've got. We lost 2 against the Yankees. We won 1, so we didn't win the series. But I was glad to see the bats lighten up for the Rays. We got, I think, Josh Lowe came back, I believe. And so he's helping out. Randy Rosarina, his bat was lighting up finally. Yandy was getting on base. So I think if Brandon Lyle's able to come back, we get some pitchers back, we might be all right.
No, you're about to lose 3 games here.
Oh yeah, we're playing Boston. We played Boston last night, right?
No, it starts tonight.
Starts tonight. All right. So 3 easy wins for us.
You're probably right because the Rays have owned the Red Sox the last couple of years.
Yeah, we can if we can beat Boston, we can leapfrog them in the standings.
The only way
actually,
you have to sweep. If the Red Sox take 1, they still stay above them.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying.
But you're not gonna, so you guys can't.
I know.
You guys have no pitching in. The Red Sox do. That's why they're actually good. The Red Sox, in the last 100 years, have the second best starters ERA over 40 games in the history of baseball. Their starters ERA is 2.06. That's really impressive. Really impressive.
Well, anyways, I did forget to mention to you guys, I do have another engagement at like 8:15. So we won't be a long show tonight. I did forget to mention that. Sorry, guys. That's supposed to be something you mentioned before the show, not while we're on the show. But so that means we're gonna jump right into some other stuff real quick. We want to talk the NBA because the NBA is going on right now, and it's the playoffs. So right now, Dallas leads the Thunder 2-1. The Nuggets and the Timberwolves are tied at 2-2. Very weird. Timberwolves win 2 on the road. Nuggets win 2 on the road. Now they're going back to Denver. I think the Timberwolves are done. That's just my opinion. We'll see what happens. I'm not saying for sure, but just seeing that, all right, the Nuggets just won 2 on the road. They're going back home. Maybe. The Cavs are leading – the Boston Celtics are leading the Cavs 2-1. And the Knicks and Pacers are tied at 2-2. All right. Who's playing tonight? We got
Celtics and Cavs, and the Mavs and the Thunder.
Celtics are on right now.
Yeah, and the Cavs are in trouble because Donovan Mitchell is out.
Yeah, they're done.
There you go.
Yeah.
Done.
Game over.
Yep.
But we are an established sports show, and we may only have 50-something subscribers. Who cares? We have field reporters. Do you guys know that? We have field reporters. And our field reporter, friend of the show, also, Micah Ford, quit his job today to be our full-time. I guess this would be a good time to mention that we have merch because we're going to need it to support this man's family. We have merch. So
we're not even supporting our own families. What are you talking about?
Check that
this guy
out.
on payroll?
But this guy quit his job and sent me a whole article today. Some of it is actually pretty comical, so I'm going to do my best to present it in the way that Micah would like it to be presented. And if you don't believe me, he went all out At the top there, it says the Bobby Drew Show field report. Micah A. Ford, senior field reporter / assistant manager.
Manager.
With I don't even know that. I don't know what he's managing, but the topics he covers in this article, and we're gonna have to post this, is Dallas Mavericks, the playoff run of Gladiators, which is, I mean, if they do make it, it's gonna be quite the gauntlet. OKC, more like free throw city. Dort, more like dork. Luka and PJ. Jokic, aka the mayor of Boringville, is a 3-time MVP in 4 years. This guy is good. We might actually have to hire him. So, I will at least read the first paragraph. It's only 2 pages long, but we'll see. Well, and you guys can feel free to stop me if you want to respond. But actually, I'll just mute you. So whoever. But anyways, he says, whoever made the decision to make the trade for Daniel Landlord Gafford, PJ standing on business Washington, while only giving up the Curry plus a 6'9" center named Holmes plus a dude with the physique of a diaper-filled baby, is an absolute legend. He says they deserve a statue next to his Dirkness, Dirk Nowitzki. I was at the first game that Gafford and Washington played, and after the trade was completed, both of their first points were long lob dunks from the Don, Luka Doncic. The Mavericks won that game by 35 points, 146 to 111. Who did they beat that Saturday afternoon? OKC, the very team they are playing in the second round of the playoffs right now. If, and I do mean if, the Mavs make it to the finals, no one will call their road to the finals easy. They will have beaten a vet-stacked Clippers team, the youngest overall 1 seed in the league, and either the part-time MVP Nuggets team or the electric and fast-paced Nuggets. That isn't a typo. The Wolves are done. Sorry. And, Brian, you'll appreciate this next one, talking about the officiating. This goes on to talk about the officiating of the NBA this season. The officiating this year in the playoffs has been more akin to the stories of old when men played this game and a drive to the rim was not guaranteed a trip to the line. Unless your name is Shea, the headband looks stupid, Gilchrist Alexander, I am not under the fallacy-filled assumption that Shea averaged 30.1 points per game this season, solely from the charity stripe. Shea and Doncic averaged the same number of attempts per game, 8.7, with Shea having a higher completion percentage. The difference is in the quality of the calls. When Luka gets fouled, the defender makes contact, takes his lunch money, scuffs his sneakers, and calls his mom fat. When Shea gets fouled, one of 2 things happens. Shea will initiate the contact with a lowered shoulder and push off, or simply there is no contact. The refs from Game 3 in Dallas were from Oklahoma, according to their driver licenses, which I obtained after stealing their wallets. For legal reasons, I must say that is a joke. Luis Dort, I assume that's what Lou is short for.
Nope.
I just looked it up, and his name is Lugans, and he is Canadian. I am flabbergasted. Missed the NFL draft by 1 day and decided to enter the NBA draft instead. No one can say a linebacker can't play basketball because Luis is shattering those myths. Oh man, he goes on and on, so on and so on. But I'll read the last 2 paragraphs because they relate to what's going to happen tonight. He says, Nikolai Jokic is unpleasant to watch play basketball unless he is passing or doing that goofy run. He is a part-time NBA player. He plays basketball to fund his horse addiction, as opposed to Luis Dort, who plays basketball because tackling European men sounded like a good time to him. Jokic has 3 MVPs and deserves only 1. Sabonis should have been this season's MVP. I put this in there to annoy y'all. That's what he said. Tonight is Game 4 of the Mavs-OK series. As a lifetime Dallas Mavericks fan, they will win and go back to OKC with a 3-1 lead. As a fan of the game, I will not be surprised if the Thunder take this one to even things up. They are a young and fast-paced team that have excellent ball movement. My wife, who knows minimal about basketball, made the statement at Game 3. They really pass the ball and move well. Coach Pop would be proud. Micah, first of all, great writing. I mean, This
Yep.
is superb. We have the best field reporter probably in the news industry right now.
That's a great talent. I tell you what, as an unpaid intern employee of the Bobby Drew Show, we own that now, and you need to post that everywhere, Bobby Drew. Of course, give the proper credit to who wrote it,
Yeah.
providing that wasn't done by ChatGPT or anything
No.
like that.
That was, listen, I've never met this guy, which is actually quite fascinating. I've never met him. I've only texted him, and that is definitely his texting.
That seems legit. I like his style, Brian. As the resident NBA know-it-all here, and I mean that with that's a term of endearment.
Oh, thank you. Brian.
Do you agree with what he said?
What? No. I agree with some of it. I don't agree with all of it. If he thinks that Jokic doesn't deserve the MVP, he's crazy. Jokic is the best player on the planet, and he proved it last night. Totally proved it last night.
Is he better than Michael Jordan?
I said on the planet. Michael Jordan's 65. So he's better than Michael Jordan.
He's on the
right
planet.
Now he's better than Michael Jordan.
You know what?
You heard it here first. You heard it here first. Brian said,
"No, you're taking it out of context."
Jokic is better than Michael Jordan. I'm gonna post that.
No, you just took that out of context. I'll tell you what Michael Jordan is better at is having a last name that the average American can spell. Okay, so there's that.
Hey, the good news with all of that is the Mavericks are still trash and they're not going to advance. Somebody picked the Mavericks to make it to the championship. I don't know who would have done that on this panel. Someone also picked the Knicks. How are those picks working out for you?
Hey, they're tied. They are tied 2-2.
First it was they're up 2-0. Then it was they're up 2-1. And I'm going to put this out there, hey, everybody. So I texted Bobby here, and he started with his whole, they're still up 2-1. So Bobby, who's an Aaron Rodgers fan, said, well, the Knicks are up 2-1, so they're better. So I said Jimmy Garoppolo is better than Aaron Rodgers because Jimmy Garoppolo has 2 Super Bowls. Aaron Rodgers has 1.
How many passes has Jimmy Garoppolo completed in a
Super Bowl? 3. And how many rings does he have? 2.
He actually threw in the Super Bowl?
No, he threw the football down 3 times.
Oh man, I was gonna say that's crazy. I didn't even notice that.
Well, actually, he has. He did it when he was on the Niners, but not when he was with the Patriots winning Super Bowls.
Mm.
He almost has a Super Bowl ring for every Super Bowl pass he's thrown.
Could you imagine?
Can you imagine? Yeah. What was that NBA player, Brian? You probably know. There was an NBA player that was with the Warriors. That was it the 2 years they went in a row, or did they three-peat? Did it 2-peat or 3-peat?
No, they never three-peated. They only repeated.
So they had 2, and then he went to the Raptors, and then he was a bench player, and then I think it was the Raptors the next season won, or whoever the team was that won the next season. But this guy, so he got 3 rings in 3 years. It was a bench player though.
Oh man, I don't know. I'd have to look that up. But that happened. I mean, it's like Robert Horry. He actually has 7 rings, and he was never a starter. He got them with the Lakers and the Spurs. He's got 7 rings, and never started.
Are those worth anything?
Yeah, like $20,000 each, usually $25,000.
He probably can make a ton off of like being some like motivational speaker. Like we have 7-time NBA champion, and it's like, who is this guy?
Yeah, and then it's like Robert Horry, like who? Yeah,
ooh, I've never heard of that guy before.
Yeah. Anyway, let's talk some more NBA playoffs real quick.
Yeah.
All right, great. So I know that you're a huge Knicks fan, Bobby, and I know that they're like your team, and you know they're going. And all I keep hearing about is all these injuries that the Knicks have, that the Bucks had, that Cleveland has now. Let's go on. Luka's hurt. But everybody forgets that there's some guy on the Celtics that's hurt, Kristaps Porzingis, and no one seems to bring that up. Everybody else can have an excuse that they have hurt players, but Boston has one, but it doesn't matter. And so I tried to explain to all my friends, that's just because Boston is just so good that they can just win without a great player. The other teams have to make excuses. All Boston's doing is going ahead and winning. So plain and simple, let's not complain. And I actually like they're a New York team, so it's hard for me to say this, but I like the Knicks and how they're approaching it. They're not making excuses. They're saying, listen, this is the hand that we're dealt. We got to play. We're hurt. Oh, well, you got to do it. But their coach, Tom Thibodeau, is not too bright. He did this with the Chicago Bulls. He plays his starters too much. And I hear people saying, oh, well, their guys aren't that good or they're hurt. You still got to play. I mean, these guys can't go. They can't go 46, 48 minutes a game every other day. It's a lot of running. It's a lot of banging. And they're hurt. They're done. They're cooked. I mean, I was watching the game yesterday, the Pacers and the Knicks. The Knicks are coming up short. They're front rim and everything. And from having played basketball when I was younger, if you don't have your legs, you can't play. You're going to come up short. You can't jump. You're not going to dunk. I mean, and you could see it. I mean, everything was short. There's no energy. They're exhausted. So believe it or not, I think the Pacers blowing out the Knicks may have actually done New York a favor because they actually rested their players all of the fourth quarter and most of the third quarter. Because if that game was close and they lost, they would have played the Knicks starters the whole time. Now they actually had that whole time off. So could that matter? And in the big scheme of things, I mean, these pro athletes, sure, that could matter because they just get that extra rest. Hart for the Knicks is averaging like almost 48 minutes a game. He only played 28 yesterday. That's a big deal, getting 20 minutes of rest. That's not just like 20 minutes like you're sitting down. That's 20 minutes of play time. That's like you're not jumping, you're not running. I mean, that's legit. That can matter for game 5 where you get that extra rest. So let's see how they come out. But as a Celtics fan, I hope New York beats Indianapolis because New York has nobody left. They're going to be coming with like a mass unit. They're going to be coming on gurneys. I mean, Boston will just they're going to destroy them. They got nobody left. They're going to be exhausted. At least Indiana can run up and down the court because they got 9 or 10 guys like the Celtics do. They just don't play a lick of defense. But New York, I mean, they got grit, and I will never root for New York anything. But I can't hate these guys because they're not making excuses. At least they're not crying. They're out there saying, we just got to do it. This is the hand that they're dealt. So whoever wins the series, I don't really care because Boston's just going to win because that's just who they are. I'm feeling really good. I tried telling everybody about UConn, and I'm feeling the same way about the Celtics. They have a clunker every once in a while. It's just what they do. They had a clunker in game 2. They came back and won game 3. Tonight they're going to win. They're going to close it out in game 5. They're going to get more rest. Kristaps can still rest. Our injured star can rest till the finals because whoever comes out of the West has bigs. They're good. I mean, I'm not going to lie. All the teams out West have good bigs. So you put Kristaps in there, nobody knows he's a 7'3" shooter. So he's a shot blocker. He can play both ends of the floor. He stretches the defense. That opens up the lane for Tatum and Brown. It gives White an opportunity. So it gives Al Horford a time to come off the bench instead of starting because that old man is tired for the Celtics. But we're going to see what happens. I mean, there's no excuses now. Everybody's got injuries. Everybody's hurt. Let's see how these games play out. But I'm calling it here. I've been saying it all along. Boston's going to win this, man. They're just looking that good.
Dave, would you like to say anything?
Yes, I would. As I said before, it doesn't matter who wins because ultimately Boston's going to take it all. So you can probably have I'd rather him play this team or that team, but it doesn't matter.
That's right.
Well,
Boston's the best team. Boston's the best team out of the 8 that's left.
Yep.
And that's all there is to it. I stand by my words.
That's it.
Well, Boston's up right now 48-40 in the second
Quarter.
8:05 to left. All right, I was set up 52 now.
Yep.
48-40, they're leading the Cavs. If the Cavs, I'm not saying they will. All I'm saying is if the Cavs were to pull off a win tonight, that would be crazy.
Yep. And it can happen. As a Celtics fan, believe me, I know it can happen. This team has a tendency to sleep. So I'm kind of worried, but I'm still going to stand on business, as Kendrick Perkins would say. I'm going to stand on business, but they're going to take it.
Who do the Cavs have besides Donovan Mitchell?
Yes, exactly.
That's what I thought. That's what I'm saying. Like if they pull that off, and
they got some good little players, but they're not. There's no other superstar. Like some teams have 2 and 3. No, it's Donovan Mitchell and everybody else. I mean, it's Max Struess, it's Darius Garland, Evan Mobley. I mean, they got nobody. Caris LeVert. I mean, they're
If
Okoro. I mean, these guys give me a break.
if they were to pull it off,
Mhm.
it would have to be because the Celtics went in there saying,
Yeah.
okay, it's a night off for us. They don't have
Yep.
nobody.
And they're known to do that. That's what worries me.
And that's always the time that you get caught off guard. Like,
Yep.
what season was it? I think it was. I may get the season wrong. I think it was 2018. So yeah, I'm a Packers fan, so obviously that's the first thing that comes to mind. Remember when the Cardinals were undefeated?
Uh-huh.
They were going throughout that season, Kyler Murray, and I was nervous because I think it was a Sunday night, or it was Thursday night or Sunday night game. It was a night game. We were playing the Cardinals, and we won off that interception. Ooh, everybody doubted us. They were saying they were going in there. Packers are done. Packers are done, but no, we weren't.
No.
And now it's 48-43.
Well,
Well, they get
the
a
point is,
Yeah.
even with the best teams, you still got to play the game.
Yep.
And you can't go to sleep on them thinking we got this, we're good, we're already ahead 2-1, we're gonna win tonight, we got this. You can't have that attitude. And we see that in the NFL all the time.
Yeah.
It's like the team that's supposed to win chokes because from our perspective as fans watching, it's like they weren't ready. They went into it maybe too cocky or whatever.
Mhm.
You still got to play.
Yep, and it happens more often than not. I mean, like all those Cowboys fans last year talking about, oh, it's a first round bye week for us because we're playing the Packers and Jordan Love and all these no-name wide receivers. Well, they found out real quick what their names were because all they saw was the back of their jerseys as they was getting into the end zone. Like, oh, now I know who that guy is. You know, It just happens. It happens, and we call those setup games where it's like I was telling everybody. I think we talked about it when the Packers were going into that game that the Cowboys they got set up because all the pressure was on them and no pressure on the Packers. The Cowboys had to walk out with that win. But speaking of, we're going to go back a little bit to baseball. The reason why my mouth dropped when you started talking about the NBA, Brian, was not because of what you were saying. It was because I saw an update come through from the Boston Tampa game.
Yeah.
And the Rays went up 3-0 in the first inning, and then Boston hit a 3-run home run to tie it in the first
inning. I was
inning.
going to say, I was wondering if you were going to pick up on that. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I seen the notification come in. I was like, no way, 3-3 in the first inning. If we lose, I don't even care. We put up 3 runs in the first inning. That's incredible.
Yep. Oh man.
But
that's exactly what I'm talking about. You get an early lead, you start to feel comfortable. Next thing you know, it's a 0-0 game again. It might as well be starting over.
Yep. I'm going to share some photos. Remember we talked about Josiah playing in the Dade City Little League? Well, him and his team, they went to the championship game, the World Series game, and they got a cool picture. Let me see if I can get this to pop up here. Oh, man. Oh, here we go. This is Josiah. He's pitching. There we go. So you can see there, he's hiding his pitch. We can't tell what he's throwing, but he is laser focused. And they might need to check his glove for some sticky stuff. That's all I'm saying. They might want to check that kid's glove. But they won. We got a picture of their team so we can see their whole team. But they won 5-4 in the last inning on a walk-off. I think it was a walk-off double that brought a run in. And so here's Josiah and his whole team. They got the win, and that's a cool way to win even for little kids, man. On a walk-off, last hit, get a double. It was a controversial call. The umpire called safe, and everybody was like, no way, that guy was out. And then there was an argument that ensued. It was going crazy. The other team's coach was getting wild. He was just losing his mind. And then somebody walked out and said, what was the original call? And they said, safe. And that's what they stuck with. So they win the World Series 5-4.
Awesome.
And next thing you know, Josiah is going to be on the Timberbury Rays, leading them to a World Series. He's going to be the starting pitcher someday. But that's enough baseball talk. That's enough NBA talk. That's enough UFL talk. There's hockey going on, but the Lightning are in it, so nobody cares. We'll move on from that. We were at dinner the other night, me and Dave and some other people, and that guy got hit right in the mouth. Did you see that, Ryan?
Yeah.
Who?
Bruins game.
I don't know.
Some Canadian.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I mean, everybody gets hit in the mouth. I mean,
No,
like-
man, it was
like by a puck or somebody punched them.
Oh, the puck. No, it was a pass. I don't know the players. I don't really follow hockey, but I seen it. We're sitting in the restaurant, and it's like this 96-inch screen right in front of us,
Oh my god!
And the pass, they showed it in slow motion. He passed it, went right through the defensive player's legs, came up and hit him right in the mouth. There's blood all over the ice and everything.
Yeah,
He's like,
all his chiclets are gone. Yeah.
He's fine. Like, he keeps playing and everything. He goes over, gets a little towel, wipes himself off, and he's back at it. But
Nope.
I'm hockey pucks when they're frozen. They're hard,
They
dude.
hurt.
And that was coming in. That came in at probably like 90 miles an hour, hit him in the face.
Yeah, they hurt for real.
But and all he had on with the helmet and the half glass like this.
Visor, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, it's funny. Hockey players will smile and they lose a bunch of chiclets. They smile, they have no teeth, and they won't change them until they're retired because they're only going to fall out again. They don't get replacements, but they smile. There's like no chiclets up there at all.
Chiclets.
I love hockey.
Yeah, it is fun.
Hey, all right. Let's move on from all this. Let's move on. We'll go to the next topic. We're going to talk about real sport. I mean, hockey's a real sport. I do like hockey.
Are we going to talk? Are we talking football? Like football?
We're going to talk football.
Real football.
Not football.
American football.
Oh,
American
that's
football.
boring. I thought we were going to talk Manchester City.
Oh, something about didn't somebody like leave or something? Mbappe's switching teams.
Mbappe's leaving PSG. He should. That team's a mess. Garbage. I don't care about that. Manchester City's about to win 4th title in a row, and it'll be the first time ever in European football. Believe that.
Man, they're better. They're better than the Kansas City Chiefs.
They sure are. Yep. And they play on a 108-yard field, not 100. So,
Dude, I don't know anything about soccer. Why did you even bring that up?
because it's incredible. I could talk for hours about this too. We can go on and on.
Well, you should start something called the Brian Larson Show. Talk about soccer all you want.
Wow.
I don't know anything about. We don't know anything about soccer.
That's not my fault. Educate yourselves.
We'll talk about soccer when the World Cup comes back around.
Do you know what the World Cup is?
It's soccer.
Thanks.
Hey,
We'll talk about it when it comes to Florida.
So it's never coming.
David Burns, our field reporters in Texas too. Do you want to be a field reporter? Send an application in. We start with no pay.
What's up, David Burns? Welcome.
And my mom's on here. She said we bring laughter to her life. So that's what we're here to do. We're going to talk about
Happy belated Mother's Day.
Yeah. Oh, happy belated Mother's Day to all. Yes. We're here to bring laughter. We're here to talk about sports, but also do it in an entertaining way because there's a lot of experts out there. There's people that know sports better than I do and better than Dave do, and maybe some better than Brian.
Nobody knows better than me.
But me. But
Impossible.
we can't possibly compete with all their technology and their cool transitions and all that stuff. All that stuff. But what we can compete with is, as the world would say, you're unique.
Yeah.
We're all very unique.
Yeah.
And we just like to have fun. That's all. And we're about to have fun right here. Big discussion. It's 7:58. So we're gonna jam pack this. You guys ready for this?
Yeah, let's do
jam
it.
pack this in 15 minutes. We're gonna cover this whole topic. We're gonna try to all this in. So we probably will not. Hey, Brian, you got a fan? Better than Brian? I don't know.
That's right. That's my girl.
We've been having a discussion about quarterbacks in the NFL for quite for quite the past few weeks here. Yeah, David says waiting on the Mavericks and Thunder game at 8:30 his time, 9:30 my time, or 9 o'clock or something like that. Anyways, David, you're distracting me because I can read your comments. We're going to talk about quarterbacks in the NFL real quick. And there's been a discussion. We're not going to be able to squander the whole Brock Purdy and Aaron Rodgers debacle. It's not even a debate. It's a debacle. We're not going to be able to squander that here tonight. The reason is because Dave will never admit that Aaron Rodgers is better than Brock Purdy. And I've come to grips with that. I've accepted that. And now it's just going to be a lifelong thing. I feel like me and Dave do, that we'll always talk about Brock Purdy and Aaron Rodgers. So I'm not even going to get on that subject. We can probably mix it in. But what I want to do, I did present something last week. We said, let's bring up the first 2 years of stats for Brock Purdy, Aaron Rodgers, and Tom Brady, because I'm a Packers fan. Aaron Rodgers was our quarterback for 17 seasons. Brian over there, Patriots fan. Tom Brady was their quarterback for like 23 seasons or 20 seasons, something like that.
Yep.
And Brian or Dave over here, he is a lifelong 49ers fan.
Oh.
And Brock, no,
Dave has no quarterback. I'm a Buccaneers fan. Okay. We've got guys like Brad Johnson and Trent Dilfer. Oh, we did have Tom Brady. Thank you, Brian.
Yeah, you're welcome.
That was a fun 3 years. But
and
you know,
I feel like the Bucs that's the journeyman quarterbacks. That's where they go. You guys had Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Yeah.
The journeyman,
the beard.
of all journeyman. Fitzmagic. But all right, let's present. So this is going to take us into a bigger debate. This is just presenting the first 2 years, and then I'm going to talk about Aaron Rodgers being an elite quarterback. So, Brian, why don't you go ahead and share Tom Brady's stats for his first 2 starting seasons?
Okay, for his first 2 starting seasons, Tom Brady, well, it was an 85.9 passer rating with 6,613 yards, 46 touchdowns, 26 interceptions, and 1 Super Bowl.
How many touchdowns was it?
46.
Okay, so I mean that's
decent.
It's not those numbers aren't like, wow, that guy's really good, but he's got the Super Bowl in there, and it's like, all right, that's a good quarterback. All right.
Yep.
Dave, do you have Purdy's stats for his? Make it known that he didn't start 2 full seasons, but we can adjust.
He started 1 full season. He technically played 9 games, 2022 regular season. However, the first 3 games were junk. I mean, he came in, to kneel the ball down for a win in his first game, played 3 plays in the next game and whatever. So essentially he got 6 full starts, but his career, 25 games, really technically 22 because of those reasons, but he's got 5,654 yards, 44 touchdowns, 15 interceptions, rating 111.4 rating. Decent start, lots of wins.
Very nice. What was his win and loss record?
Regular season. Let me see.
He went 5-0. He went 5-0 in the first.
Okay. So 2022, in the games where he actually started, one of the games was a loss, but Garoppolo was starting. Like, he came back in the last drive of the game or whatever. He had like 4 completions or something, but he had 6 wins out of the 6 actual starts he had in the regular season. Then he went on into the playoffs, win, lose. So he went 2-1 in the playoffs, 6-0 in the regular season. Let me go back to 2023. Last year, I think he had 12 wins.
I think it was a 12-win season for them.
No, they had 13.
13?
Yeah.
So 13 plus 5 or 6.
That's 19.
So 19 and 2?
13-4 last year.
Okay,
What
so
was it?
17 game season.
19-6 was his win-loss record.
Oh, if you're counting the playoffs, are you counting?
No,
No,
I wasn't
not
counting the playoffs.
Okay.
Yeah, no, he went 12-4.
Last
I'm looking
year?
at his stats right now.
What,
12
did he
and
not
4.
play a game or something? Did he sit
He
out the last game?
He must have not played the last game then.
Right.
He had 16 starts.
Yeah, so he didn't play. He
He
didn't
didn't
play.
play that last game because they had it wrapped up probably.
So he went 17 in what, 5? First 2 seasons?
Well, he didn't lose anything in the first season, so 18-4.
18-4.
There you go. All right. So Aaron Rodgers, first 2 starting seasons, 2008,
Here we go.
2009. No, it's not. This isn't my. Thing.
No, that's what I was saying. I was saying, here we go. Like,
Oh,
here we
okay.
go,
It's so
everybody.
exciting. Can't wait to hear it.
Yeah.
So his first 2 seasons, 2008, 2009, he had 8,472 yards, 58 touchdowns, and 20 interceptions. And in those years, his QB rating was 93.8 and 103.2. So somewhere in the middle, you get 97-ish, something like that. So that was, and his win-loss record, he went 6-10 in 2008 for his first start season, and then in 2009 he went 11-5. So that's Aaron Rodgers' first 2 seasons. Now, with all of that being said, it was said last week we had a moment where it was said that Aaron Rodgers is not an elite quarterback, and that Aaron Rodgers is just a good quarterback. And if he's just a good quarterback, he's a really good quarterback. But I've come here today to present to you, and this is like 15 minutes of putting this together. So there's probably somebody that can do it a lot better than me. But I'm going to present my best that I have in front of me. That Aaron Rodgers is an elite quarterback, and that he should be respected as so. So Aaron Rodgers, let me pull up my stats here that I got. Aaron Rodgers, obviously, we have to set the stage of what an elite quarterback is. Brian said it last week, and many other sports people say is that there's levels to these things. We know Tom Brady is the GOAT for now, but Tom Brady is the GOAT. I mean, he's on a pedestal. But if we were to take the GOAT status out of the conversation, and we have elite quarterbacks, good quarterbacks, and decent guys, whatever, Aaron Rodgers would be in the elite company of quarterbacks in the NFL. He has multiple – because, all right, well, here's the thing. I have to set the level for what is an elite quarterback. And so for me personally, you guys may have other opinions, and I'm sure others do. But for me, to be an elite quarterback, it is nice to win Super Bowls. Everybody wants their team to win Super Bowls, and it helps in the conversation of being the greatest of all time. But when it comes to being an elite quarterback, I think you can take the Super Bowl wins out of the equation, because you can just – what makes an elite quarterback is their individual play. You look at somebody play the game, and you're like, man, that guy is elite. It comes down to the decision-making, their football IQ. It comes down to all of that. And obviously, wins and losses. I mean, wins and losses are nice. That's something you want to look at. There's not too many players that we look at that have, like, under 500 seasons, and we're like, man, that's an elite quarterback. There are times where we see quarterbacks that are elite, they go to a team, and that team is trash, and we're like, wow, this is a waste of talent, stuff like that. But we're looking more at individual play than we are anything else. Rodgers has 4 NFL MVP awards in 2011, 2014, 2020, and 2021. He's a Super Bowl champion, and in that Super Bowl, he got the MVP as well, and that was in the 2010-2011 season. And then statistically, his career passer rating is over 100. And we'll talk about passer rating here in a minute and why that's so important. So he's been in the league. He played for Green Bay 17 seasons. He has 1 pass attempt for the New York Jets, which did count. That did count toward his passer rating, all right? But in his career, 18-year career, we can say 17. But in his 18 career, his passer rating hovers over 100. And he has the lowest career interception percentage among quarterbacks with at least 1,500 pass attempts. Anybody that attempts 1,500 passes in the NFL is a multi-year starter. And to get multi-year starts, you got to be pretty good. And he has the lowest career interception percentage. That means he's very smart with the ball. He set the single season passer rating of 122.5 in 2011. He was also the fastest quarterback to reach 300 touchdown passes in fewer games than any other quarterback in NFL history. Peyton Manning, he does have more MVP awards. He has 5. But Rodgers is right behind him with 4. But in that same stance, Rodgers surpasses him in career passer rating and efficiency in terms of interception percentage. Tom Brady has more Super Bowl wins. Rodgers has a higher career passer rating, and Drew Brees, he has he has excelled more in the volume of stats as total yards and completions as Rodgers. But Rodgers has been more efficient with a higher touchdown to interception ratio. So those 3 names, Brady, Manning, Brees, you would consider those probably some elite quarterbacks in our day. And here, Rodgers, though they may excel in some areas, Rodgers excels in other areas, but he's in the same conversation with them as well. Passer rating. Do you guys know what passer rating is? How it's like figured out and accumulated, and it's a lot of math. I looked at it, and it's way beyond any of our pay grades. But at the end of the 2023 season, this is career pass ratings. Rodgers' career pass rating is 103.0. Tom Brady is approximately 97.0. Peyton Manning's is 96.5, and Drew Brees is 98.7. Rodgers' touchdown to interception ratio is 4.4. So that means he would nearly throw 450 touchdowns to 100 interceptions. Brady's is 3.0, Manning is 2.1, and Drew Brees is 2.3. Completion percentage, Rodgers is at 65% for his career, or 65.3. Brady's at 64, Manning's at 65.3, Brees is at 67.7%. Let me continue to go here. Seasons with 40 plus touchdown passes. Rodgers is at 3, Brady is at 2, Manning is at 3, and Brees is at 1. I said it. He's already at the fastest at 300 touchdowns as well. Other names that we can mention that maybe people would say, well, is he better than this guy? Eli Manning, not even close. His career passer rating is 84.1. Though he has 2 Super Bowls, he is not an elite quarterback. I think every single one of us would say he is not elite at all. While Eli Manning has a higher interception rate compared to Rodgers. Manning threw 244 interceptions in his career, and Rodgers hasn't even hit that yet. Joe Flacco, I mean, he's not an elite quarterback, but his pass rating is 84. And Matt Ryan, so on and so on. Those guys obviously do not compare. Phillip Rivers, so on and so on. Let me get to the passer rating. I got to find the passer rating. I had it written down. Passer rating. So passer rating has to do with, there's a bunch of math involved. I had it. Give me 1 second. Anyways, passer rating has to do with the pass being completed. It has to do with the air yards as well. And, here we go. So completion, this is what goes into a passer rating. This is why passer rating is so important when it comes to talking about quarterbacks. Completion percentage is the percentage of passes thrown that are caught by receivers. Yards per attempt, the average number of yards gained per pass attempt. Touchdowns per attempt, and interceptions per attempt, which Rodgers excels in all of those. So with all of that being said, the passer rating, though it may seem like a very minuscule stat, the passer rating, the way they calculate it, it encompasses a quarterback's play all in one stat, from completions to touchdowns, interceptions, and air yards as well. Some other accolades that Aaron Rodgers has. He has the most consecutive seasons with a passer rating of 100 with 6 in a row from 2009 to 2014. He has the most seasons with 35-plus touchdown passes. He's tied in first place with 5. Most seasons with 40-plus touchdown passes. He's tied with he's got 3. Most consecutive pass attempts without an interception. He went 402 pass attempts without throwing an interception. He has the most passing yards in their first 5 seasons as a starter with 21,332. He has the fewest attempts to get 30,000 passing yards with 3,652 attempts. He has the most touchdown passes of 70-plus yards, which is 21. Brock Purdy probably can't even throw that far. Most seasons with a passer rating of 100 is 9 in total. And there's more. I can go on. There's a lot more accolades that we could talk about. But with all of that being said, all those accolades, all those stats show that Aaron Rodgers he's more than a good quarterback. He is in the elite company of quarterbacks in the NFL. I rest my case. I'm open for questions.
I'm sorry, I was sleeping. You were just rambling. You were rambling off a bunch of stuff. So, how many Super Bowls does he have?
He has 1.
Okay. So he's a good regular season quarterback.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I set my preface in the beginning.
Okay.
But hold on. How many times have they been the number 1 seed in the NFC?
Multiple.
And how many times have they gone to the Super Bowl?
The only time that he's had a top 10 defense.
Oh, stop it. Stop it. We're talking about elite quarterbacks, not elite defenses.
Okay, how many times has Tom Brady had a top 10 defense?
All the time.
Oh, I guess we could just throw that out the window then.
Yeah, we can, because he still succeeded.
Look, here's the deal. This is the way I look at it. You're still – it's one thing to look at the individual stats. And then even when you can really get into it and say out of all those incompletions, how many of them should have been caught, and that goes against the quarterback. How many interceptions is because it hit his receiver in the hand and got deflected and somebody else intercepted it? It's, you can do that with all quarterbacks. Stats is a big part of it. However, it is a team sport. So I understand not every team can win the Super Bowl when you don't have a defense that is, that you can't score 50 points every game when you don't have a defense Bobby Drew, I'm tending to agree with you. I think what the stats don't account for is all his years of his stupid hair and his stupid mustache. And I think that's why I can't stand him so bad. And because
Rodgers is, all seriousness, Rodgers is incredible. Like if Rodgers went to the Patriots instead of the Jets, I would absolutely love. It's just fun to watch you squirm every time you say this, Bobby, and then I give you some stupid comment. You're just like, come on, man, just say he's good. It's okay. Aaron Rodgers he is elite. I'm not gonna lie. The guy can throw the ball like on a dime, like anywhere. Like I've seen him throw passes, like it looked like it went through a cornerback and a safety, like through their whole body. Like he threw it so hard, and the guy basically stuck up his hands and receiver. He's like, oh, I caught the ball. And how many receivers have said when they catch his ball, like when Rodgers throws it, it almost hurts their hands. He throws it so hard. So you got to understand the spin rate on that football has got to be unbelievable. And yes, I do believe, I'm going to say it, I do believe he's the greatest thrower of the football ever. Not that he's the greatest quarterback. He's the greatest thrower of the football. Like when he wants to put it somewhere, most of the time it's going to go where he wanted it to go, whether the receiver catches it or the receiver ran the wrong route. When Rodgers says, okay, I called this play, it's going here. I think in the history of football, that's even my boy Tom Brady, Rodgers is the best thrower of the football of all time.
Yeah, and that's why I love watching his highlights so much, is just because, the accuracy is
the precision is unbelievable. Yeah, no doubt.
Even when he throws it, it's not just 15 yards. When he throws it, he's throwing 25, 30, 40, 50-yard bombs.
Yep.
It's right where he wants
And
it.
it's almost like he just flicks the wrist too. It's not, it looks so effortless. That's what I'm saying. It's incredible. Like he's just standing there and he's like, "Oh look, there." Back in the day, there's Devontae Adams 50 yards down the field, right in his hands as he's running, right over the shoulder, perfect. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. I heard somebody say they said that Rodgers has the second best release of all time behind Dan Marino.
Oh, I believe it.
I don't see. I've never watched. I haven't watched.
Oh, Marino was special.
Yeah,
But the same situation, Marino, he was his own worst enemy because he didn't want a good running game. Marino was a cocky, hair-loving, mustache-wearing quarterback, and he never got any Super Bowls. That's what I'm saying.
we gotta investigate this, Dave. This is your task, Dave.
No,
You need to
put the intern on it.
How many quarterbacks that wear long hair and mustaches have been good but haven't won Super
Won
Bowl?
a Super Bowl.
All of them. Well, I don't. Did Aaron Rodgers have a stupid mustache when he won the Super Bowl?
No,
he didn't. He was clean cut. He was looking good. He's a good looking man.
Yep.
You know, but I just can't listen.
Dave, how's Purdy's release?
It's a thing of beauty. Actually, listen, when it comes to the elite status, we were talking about this before the show. Stats play a big part in it. The playoff appearances, the Super Bowl wins, that helps the argument. But you got to look at some of the other things like the how many comebacks, how many game-winning drives, how many those things. And he does so pretty good, Aaron Rodgers. You know, that's one of the things you got to look at. He doesn't have as many game-winning drives and comebacks as a lot of other quarterbacks that I definitely would not call elite. However, you made a point, Bobby Drew, when you're winning the game from the beginning, you don't need the comeback wins, right?
Yeah.
But still, those are the kind of things that play a part in it. Yeah. And it does play a part, and you've drilled this over and over again. When, like the argument with Purdy, he's playing on a stacked team. Mm-hmm. Aaron Rodgers, I don't know that he's ever played on a stacked team. He's had great receivers.
I would say a stacked team, no.
And I think the stacked team includes the defense, too, that they've got a top 10 defense.
There's only been one season. I'll say, okay, we probably had the same crew. I have to look at the roster, but there's only one season that Green Bay had a top 10 defense with Rodgers, and that was the year we won the Super Bowl. Outside of that, we never had the top 10 defense. As to my knowledge, I had to look, but to my knowledge, we never had a top 10 defense during those years. We had some good defenses, but it never broke the top 10. But in Rodgers' career, where he started, in Rodgers' career in Green Bay, where he started every game, minus like the last game, there was only one season we had a losing record. Or okay, two seasons. That was in 2017. We went. 2018 we went 6-9-1, and then in 2022 we went 8-9, and of course his first starting season was 6-10. Outside of that, everything was 11 wins or more, or 10 wins and more. But I feel relieved now. Thank you guys for hearing me out, and it was music to my ears. I knew you guys were trolling, but it also feels good to have you guys say that Aaron Rodgers is an elite quarterback.
I think he is elite, and I think Brock Purdy he's got to have a lot more years in the league before we call him elite, but he is a good quarterback. And the most interesting thing about him is the fact that he was picked last, and look what he's doing. By the way, his career quarterback rating is 111.4. Okay? So if rating is such a big deal, bro, then there you go.
All right. For both of you, congratulations. I got one thing to say. He may have been Mr. Irrelevant. My boy was picked 199, so he wasn't that much farther. I can say that Rodgers is great because my guy is the GOAT, the greatest of all time. and he's got numbers to back it up. Plus, he's got the rings. So Purdy is special. Rodgers is elite. Brady is the GOAT. That's all I got to say. Put you guys together, and you still only have one Super Bowl. So my guy's got 7.
Yeah, he does have 7. He's
Quick
also
question.
got some of those rings are because,
It's a team, right? It's a team.
so it's a team sport, and some of those rings are because Marshawn Lynch didn't get the ball,
Or Julian Edelman made an unbelievable catch.
and some of those rings because of whatever happened, or because the ball got kicked and whatever. I mean,
That
it's a team sport.
The biggest win for the Patriots in a Super Bowl was the 13-3 game against the Rams. They won by 10. Every other game was 6 points or less in the Super Bowl.
Wow.
So, and he does have the greatest comeback in Super Bowl history. So, my boy's
Yes,
pretty
he does.
elite.
Yes, he does.
Pretty elite.
And who was that Rams team that they beat? Was that Kurt Warner?
No, that would be Jared Goff
Jared Goff. Oh, that's right.
and Aaron Donald. Yeah.
Jared Goff is
Cooper Kupp.
elite.
That team.
That's right. Jared Goff.
Mhm.
Didn't Brock Purdy beat him in the NFC Championship game earlier this year?
Yeah, after he lost to Jalen Hurts the year before. So, yeah.
Hey, he just got Brock Purdy got hurt.
Yeah, right. He got hurt. He got Jalen Hurts. Yeah.
Jared Goff just got paid. You brought this up earlier. Brian, let's drag this show on because I know Bobby Drew's got to
I
go.
know he wants to go.
Let's talk about Jared Goff's 4-year extension. How about that?
Do you
Getting
think
paid.
Rodgers had a better team at Green Bay or on the Jets?
Does he even play for the Jets yet? He went out there and the grass monster got him.
I
Hey,
think
bro, to be fair, the grass monster got a lot of
A
people
lot
last
of people.
year.
That's how the Chiefs won the Super Bowl because Fred Warner decided to get it too. Wasn't it Fred Warner in the Super Bowl for the
Yeah,
Niners?
running off the sideline.
Yeah, like
no,
celebrating.
Dre Greenlaw,
Dre Greenlaw.
That's
Yeah.
right. Warner was on the crying. He was like, "No."
because he knew.
That's right. Yeah, and
Dre
you're right,
Greenlaw,
Jared
Fred
Goff
Warner.
got paid 4 years, $212 million.
Yeah.
Jared Goff. Yep.
Good for him. I like Jared Goff.
Me too.
I like
I
him.
like because Detroit is finally relevant.
Oh, they're going to be good for a minute. Yep.
I mean, all the years of just
Just being like the Packers where they just couldn't do anything.
yeah, just put the paper bag over your head. All the years like the Bucks had.
Remember?
You know.
Those days. Whew, man, the creamsicle days and everything. Wow.
Man,
Hey,
rough.
cool. Anyways,
Yep.
next week, you know what? Since you guys are a little bit older than I am, okay, you can go back. I might have to look up some stats, but your list will be more respectable than mine. We're all gonna do a top 10 QB of all time. You can't hear me?
No, I'm not going to be here next week.
Oh, Dave, this is our chance.
Yeah, this is like I can't tune in or something, but go ahead.
We're
Pick
gonna
on
do
Brian. It'll be Pick on Brian week
Yeah,
next
that'll be it.
week.
Everybody,
Hey, that's what we'll
get
do.
your questions in now. It'll be an all-question forum. What do we want to say about the sports guy?
This is what we'll do. Me and Dave will put together an all-time QB list, top 10. We'll set a date, like a certain era, because we can't go all the way back to the beginning. That's crazy. We'll set a certain time span. But me and you, Dave, top 10 QBs of all time. Brian will have to
Yeah.
watch and listen and
Yeah.
hear our terrible takes and grimace in pain. And then next week, the following week when he comes back, he
Oh,
can go his top 10 and tell us how we were wrong.
sounds like a plan.
This sounds like a lot of homework, and God, there's so much that goes into it. There's been so many elite quarterbacks.
Bro, you
that
use
did win
Google
Super
for
Bowls.
everything.
Listen,
It's not that hard. Just
Listen.
Google it.
this has been fun, but for real, I'm like way over. I gotta go. I got another meeting to be in. I gotta get out of here.
All right.
Okay, bye.
All right.
That's just how it has to be.
Just go. Me and Brian
I
are finished.
I gotta
Bye.
get out of here.
All right. Bye.
You guys
All
want to keep talking?
Go Celtics.
Yeah.
You guys can keep talking if you want.
Hey, what's the Celtics score before you go? Where are we at?
52-57 at the half, Boston.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. They're going to blow them out in the third quarter. It's over.
Yeah.
You heard it.
Celtics go deep, man.
Yep.
They got
They're gonna
15
run out.
starters. That's what I said.
Yep.
You guys can keep talking. If
All right.
you want. I'm
We'll
out of here.
go. All right. Have fun.
Love,
at the meeting.
peace, and
Bye,
chicken
everybody.
grease.
Peace out, everybody.
Bye.
Oh, yeah.